morning and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to start the grungy number journal. It's actually going to be a long tab journal, and I was inspired by the On the Far Side of Whimsy. Not a large channel, a small channel, but she used, instead of sort of tabbing that way, she was using long tabs that way. And I thought that went quite well with this kit that I've got from Rockwell Designs, the grungy numbers kit. Now I've put things together here, clipped together, of pages for the actual journal. These for when I tea dyed some paper, and then I think I sprinkled, I can't remember now, or inks, or I was inking something off on there. You'll be able to see it better once I've started it. And then I've got some plain tea dye paper. This again, oh, this was when you make a mess on there and you sponge it off with a piece of paper. This was just painted gold, watercolour paints. More of the numbers kit. Again, I used inks there and diluted them when I was tea dyeing. I've got quite a few of these sort of papers, but I haven't really used them in anything, and I thought it was okay for this. This is a envelope, and then the last page there. You know, you can't see much at the moment. I don't want to take it apart because I've put all the tabs in. And for the tabs, I've used, I haven't got much of it left. Well, I have. It's from the Digital Collage Club. They're grungy papers. Or Making and Creating is the website now. Then what I've got is a piece of craft card. I don't know the thickness, but what I thought, I could put this as the cover, and it does come out nicely if I just cut it in half. And I've got some Tim Holtz fabric. I want to cover it on the front, and then on the inside will be sort of something like that. Will go on the inside there and attaching it to this. So first of all, I think what I'm going to do is get the cover started and cut this in half and cut some fabric down to cover these two pieces of card here. So these are the two pieces I'm going to use to cover the journal. I didn't get a lot of this, I think it was just 1/2 metre, but I've got enough for 2 more journal covers for whatever I decide to do with it. I now need to glue, but this is the back and this is going to be the front. So I now need to glue these onto here. And for that I'm going to use my block or your Fabri-Tac, and I might put a bit of art glitter glue just round the edge, just to make sure. Now I just cut the corners off. I leave a small piece to make sure I can get the corners sealed. And I always start with the shorter sides here. I think I'm going to have it that way round. So I'll just finish this off. Okay, so I've done all that, and this is going to be the front, and I'm going to put this piece on here. I'm not too worried what that looks like because it's going to be joined by a tab. And for the front and back cover, I'm going to be using another number one. I'm not sure what will go on, but it will try and match it up with that. So I've also inked round in oh dear, Vintage Photo. No, I haven't inked round in Vintage Photo. I've inked round in Scorched Timber. So I'll just stick this down. All right, so that's the front cover done, and I'll be attaching it to this piece here, like that. So I'll just get on with the back cover as well. Okay, I've stuck the back all in, and I've also attached some of the pages here. So as you can see, this journal will end up laying quite flat. I've attached the envelope here and put a notch for a pocket. Now I'll show you how I attach these tabs, these long tabs. I've also got some shorter pages here. So I'm at the front here, got this one, and then I've got to attach it to this here. So I've already put it onto there, and all I'm using is my block to do this. And so this will go on here. I just place it like that onto there. You can see it's fairly level. You do tend to go a little bit, I've gone a bit in there with that one. But we then go on to the next page, this page, and I say I've already cut the pieces. And this page I want to be in the middle here. Sorry about that, it was my son calling, and he's at work, so it has to be quick in his lunch hour. Okay, right, what am I doing? I'm doing this one, and I'm going to stick this, it's going to go onto here, but I'll stick it on here first and then put that on there. And I'm using my block. I apologise if I've said all this already, I can't remember. I've also got a split in my glue, so I'm having to be careful with it. I need a new Sugar Bell bottle. And now we need to put this on, and for that I'm putting this on here first. Hey, now got to see whether I'm going to need to get some electrical tape that might seal it until I go back to the UK, when I should be able to get these bottles. So now I'm just going to put this onto here and glue it onto the cover. There we go. So that's all done, but what I am going to do is put some big clips on it just to hold it together, like that, till it dries properly. I've just gone through the journal. It lays lovely and flat, but what I want to do is cover here, but I'm not sure whether to wait until I've filled the journal, because I know this won't get any bigger. I'm kind of thinking doing something like that. just to cover those edges up. But it's going to need to be flexible. I'm going to cut a piece, I think, because I don't think it will make much difference. So I'm going to cut a piece of this for the sides. Like that. And then just cut here, I think. Can always cut a bit more off if I'm not happy with it. Have it like that. Okay, I think I'm going to go for it and glue it like this, with this round here, but not do it too tight. Right, let's go for it. Oh, and meanwhile I've covered my split in my glue. So let's see if it works with some white electrical tape. I checked online. They're not being sold in the UK anymore. I have to get it from the US, and that involves tariffs, so I'm not going to do it. The worst comes to the worst. The other thing I thought about the glue is I'll buy one of these that I can get here from Holland and use it up, wash it out, and put this glue into one of them, because it's the tip mainly that I want to use. Sad, wish we could get it, because I would have bought a couple more. Okay, sorry about that. That was my son yet again on his drive home from work. I've glued that one side down. I think I'm actually deciding I'm going to leave it like that for now and see how it goes, because I've got plenty of space here till I've actually completed it and I do the cover. Now, what I want to do is some stenciling, and I've got some pieces here, some stencils, various stencils here, and number stencils, and I've got some stamping I could do, and I've got, where are they? Here, some linen backgrounds. So, but I've just realised, first of all, I need to find places for these. So this was that gatefold. That's a spare envelope, and this is the belly band. So I need to find a places for these to go. I'm thinking there. Or straight on there, because they fit in these big ones. Oh, I could on there, because it will still be okay, and it fits on there or there. Right, I think that's what I'm going to do. But what I'm going to do is do some stenciling over this using vintage photo. And just go over here. Don't really want a straight line going down. So go this way, Sharon, then you won't get a straight line. There we go. There. Oh, I've gone slightly over onto there, but as it's a grungy journal, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to glue this down. It can go there. Oops. I think I might have put a bit too much glue on that side. And that can fit in there. Oh yes, I'm pleased with that. Now there's no middle as such with this, so the next thing is the, what have I done with it? Here. So where did I put that? Okay, that's quite a way to the back, so I think I'm going to put this one at the front here somewhere. See, this is so beautiful. I don't want to cover it up. I'm thinking a pocket. And I've got a bit of a line through here, so I think maybe I'll put this one on here, and I might do an up tuck there, because then you've still got writing space, and there is lots of writing space in this. I'm going to glue this onto the page. I think I'm not going to do another tag because it's still quite thick. I also put some art glitter glue on this as well, more because I want to make sure it is stuck down. There we go, that's on there. So now I'm going to do some more inking in places. And I'm going to do some stamping as well. And also some stenciling down the side here. So you have that. Okay, so I put quite a bit in. I might do more, I don't know. And I do want to get, I've got archival coffee here. I'm wondering if I can stamp on here. Where's the, there. Let's see if that dries on there. I'm not sure if the archival ink dries onto the metallic watercolour paint. We'll see. So as you see, I've done a few bits, and I may end up doing a bit more. I'm not sure at the moment. And we've put those 2 bits in. I think I'm going to finish it there. And I've got 2 ideas for different tags to make, using number dies and number stamps, so I'll be back to use to do them. And I've got to think about what I'm doing on the cover as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a different way of putting a journal together, and as I say, it lies flat. So I'll be back with the next stage. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to hit all those buttons. Thanks a lot. Bye.